When you got guests that are coming from space, it's kind of hard to track them down, unfortunately.
That is true.
From the new season, the 13th season of Mystery Science Theater 3000, which you can find coming out this Friday on the Gizmoplex, please welcome Joel Hodgman, Jonah Ray Rodriguez, and Emily Marsh.
Hello.
Hey, hello. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
Great.
Doing good.
Enjoying
Yeah.
all of this space sunshine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I usually space is pretty dark, but it seems like you guys have found
Lies.
rooms.
All lies.
Well, my room faces the sun. I asked for that because I wanted to grow plants, and so I asked for a sun-facing room on the satellite.
It seems like you've grown a
if
lot of plants.
if you don't have any kind of tinting on the window, you die. You just die.
The sunburn
Too
must
much
be
sun.
unreal. My God, the UV rays coming through there. Good for the plants, bad for Jonah.
Yeah, bad for me. I'm so pale.
Well, anyways, thank you guys all for being here. Such a pleasure to talk to you. Just on a personal note, I grew up watching Mystery Science Theater with my dad. So very lovely to talk with you all today. I want to just dive in here. For you, Joel, I want to start off with you. What does it mean to you to bring Mystery Science Theater into its 13th season, into its new iteration on a whole new platform?
It was obvious. I mean, it was a struggle because we did it all during COVID. We did our Kickstarter, about 14 months ago during COVID, and we assumed we would still be in COVID. And there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened. Just FedEx, robots, FedExing robots across the country and them showing up 21 days late to a shoot. It just was it was like pulling down the horse this season. And the good news, the shows are turning out great and the Gizmoplex is functioning. So we had a lot of amazing people working on it. So I feel really grateful, to answer your question, to get to bring a 13th season around to MST. Yeah.
That's great. I'm happy those FedExes got there, and I'm sure Crow had a late fee for being late.
And they really damaged them too. There was a lot of breakage. Did I say FedEx? I didn't mean FedEx. I mean ex-feds.
Ex-feds. We hired ex-federal agents to parcel props around.
What I really appreciate is when they mailed me in the mail, is that my damage was minimal. I really got there on time with only a little bit of breakage along the way.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry we didn't opt for an overnight on that one, Emily. It just the budget, as you know, wasn't as okay. Yeah.
Talking about Emily in specific, Emily, I wanted to know from your perspective how you got to be a part of this show. I understand you were a puppeteer beforehand and coming on a show in person in front of people, whether it's on stage or in front of a camera. How'd you get involved?
Yeah, so basically I saw an audition notice when I was living in New York and decided to go audition because I've been watching Mystery Science Theater since I was a kid with my dad. And so they were looking for a singing puppeteer. And so I was like, well, what are the chances that I get to audition for the show I've loved? Got to see Joel Hodgson, who I'd only seen on my TV up until then behind the table, and decided at the end of the audition to share that my mom is not a Mystery Science Theater fan. And Joel found that so funny that he's kept me around since then by some miracle.
What was it like? You're auditioning and she goes, that stupid show has a national tour or something like that, right?
That was exactly what she said.
For you, Jonah, how did you get involved with everything?
I wished for a dream to come true upon an old comedy book. I was doing stand-up and writing on shows and started a podcast with a couple friends of mine called The Nerdist. And then we had Joel on the show. And Joel and I ended up running into each other a bunch and kind of becoming friendly over the next couple months, and just really got along. And Joel had to write some jokes for a roast thing of a mutual friend of ours. And so I wrote some jokes with him, and we just really kind of got along, both kind of, as buddies, but then also creatively, we kind of really clicked. And so when he one day just said, "Hey, I might bring it back. Would you want to be involved?" And I was like, "I'll do literally anything." And then one day he called me just going, and very, what I would find is like a real Joel fashion, just like, "Yeah, so I've been like," I say hello, and he just like was in the middle of the conversation already. He's like, "So yeah, with that, I think it's just best if you're the guy." And I was like, "No, I'm sorry. Were you wrapping up? Were you talking to someone else? Were you talking to Seth Rogen, who like it's some other dude?" And like he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you mean? What guy?" He's like, the mic, the person on camera." And so yeah, it's kind of just. It still blows me away. I don't think I'll ever really process the fact that I get to do this until years down the line.
For Emily, I want to know, because we hit on this a bit earlier, but as a puppeteer coming in and transitioning to being on camera, to doing that and working on this show, how did you feel in that transition to starting to work and starting to film finally?
Definitely a little nervous, but then so fulfilling to finally see it and have those nerves kind of put aside and be like, okay, good. Like it is really funny. And I got the great experience of watching my episode, the soft launch, with my dad. And I feel like the moment I could really relax was when my dad was laughing at lines, like really genuinely, because I know his laugh. And that was like, okay, awesome. Like this is good. Like this is something that like I can do. Because sometimes you doubt it when it's like, how can I be on the show I've looked up to all my life? But that was a really good grounding moment to be like, awesome, okay, I can do this.
Wow, that is probably the most wholesome thing I've heard today.
I know. I was about to start crying. It's beautiful.
I know. I was like, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I started getting choked up. Wow.
That was beautiful. That's
bringing tears to Rolling Stone. That's why you guys brought me in, right?
Tears.
Yeah. But what did your mom say? Make it funny. She'll say something super funny about how yeah.
She was upstairs making bagel bites, and she, said she thought it was probably pretty good if she'd stay to watch it. But, no, she's very supportive too now.
Joel, coming into the Gizmoplex, going from VHS to DVD to Netflix to syndicated to the Gizmoplex, what are you most excited for in this transition to the Gizmoplex and having all your content in one area through the Kickstarter and to be able to engage with your fans more directly?
Just super cool that we can all kind of gather and watch the new shows. We just it didn't work out that way on Netflix, and I think I felt like kind of a little speed bump for us as a community and a group. Mm-hmm. And it was very disorienting, I think, for a lot of people, because the old-time fans just got used to seeing it like a new one every week or a new one every couple of weeks. And so to get them all at once was a completely different experience. Now we're a little bit more like, releasing a new episode pretty much once a month. A couple of months, there's two episodes in a month, but a total of 13 episodes for the season and 13 shorts. So I really love that. And it's kind of more event based. Like, I'm a Packer fan and I love watching the Packers play on Sunday. It's game day and all the ritual that goes with that and the prep and just kind of making sure you got your snacks and a drink and stuff like that. And so we wanted to try to recreate that in a way, just so there's more of an event to it. The other thing is that people can kind of gather with their friends and also, chat and watch movies together.
It's that form of community, which is so great about MST, is that it's like, and people really want, it's like, you can see like with, Joe Bob Briggs doing his thing on Shudder, where it's like, he just started, like, they would stream the episode live, and then it just created this whole new community out of nowhere of these people that were all kind of disparate, and now they have a place to go and watch it and with each other, and that's the beautiful part of it. When you watch a bad movie, you're making jokes, it's starting conversations, you're having fun with it, it's hanging out. It's like no one's going to be watching Mac and me and go, hold on. I want to see if this mysterious alien creature is going to make it home.
Yeah, like I've never seen The Godfather playing at a bar.
There's like bars in New York where they're like, we got Godfather going on again.
Have you recently gone back and watched any of the old episodes? And if so, do you have any favorites?
I put them on all the time. It's just it's always been like a comfort place for me. I put on, like I like the Pluto has the stuff, and that's what's so great about the Gizmoplex. It has like all these old episodes that, sometimes don't really make it into these other streaming sites. And I'm a sucker for, Zombie Nightmare. I'm a sucker for I really enjoy the Pod People and Laser Blast. I mean, they're just kind of these mental. It's weird because it's like, as someone that's on the show, and that's something about the community of it, where it's like yeah, you like those are like the best shows. You're like, yeah, okay, no one's trying to outcool each other by, it's like, it was the B-side of Mystery Science Theater's episode. It's like I always just like the ones that are like super funny, or they could easily be the ones that were just like Comedy Central played like ad nauseum.
My favorite episode was Attack of the Killer Shrews, which it had been a minute since I watched it, and I watched it and it's still funny, but I was like, why was I as a kid really obsessed with this episode where they're mostly just drinking the whole time?
I think Killer Shrews was one of those that helped unlock MST. It's a very early one, but I just think it helped. I think the Gamera stuff also really helped us solidify what we were going for. But Killer Shrews is definitely in there, and in this month in the Gizmoplex, it's one of our selects. Every month in the Gizmoplex, we have 6 selects that we pulled out and added a bunch of new material to that you'll see. I just gotta hype it. I can't resist.
He unlocks the Hudson Volt, and then
I'm glad that 20 I slipped to the production team went a long way. Now we got that one.
I was gonna say too. I mean, I've been watching the Netflix ones, man, and those have been super fun to look at and just go back. Some of those we were over 4 years ago. We did those, so I've been really having fun just watching them, and they're kind of overstuffed, some of them. Like, you really see it in Avalanche, like when you guys are riffing on nothing but snow for about the first 4 minutes. Like, you go, wow, they're really riffing. There's probably 80 riffs about snow in the first 4 minutes of Avalanche.
Have there been any that have been actually very excruciating to get through? So excruciating.
Munchie. It's called Munchie, and it's in this season. It was a bad move to pick this movie. It destroyed the writer's room. Ask anyone that wrote it. Felicia Day, Matt Oswalt, Hampton Yount. It's like we had all these great writers, and it was destroying us. It was painful. I think the other one was Atlantic Rim. And there was some other one where it's like, I was like, we're 2 days in. I go, it's not good. It's not, and it's like not good in the not good way. It's like, it's not good in the fun way. It's not good. It's just not good. There's literally a couple parts where one of like me, Baron, or Hampton, and it's not like a scripted moment in it, but we just go, ugh.
There's this sketch in there, and I don't know if I really want to give it away, but it's my favorite sketch of the season. And it's the tape one. Where
I love that.
And I'm just sitting there going, I'm deliriously happy how amazing this is.
Well, thank you guys for chatting with me a little bit. I definitely want to gear this now towards our music theme segment for all of you. Yes, Emily, question for you?
John, I wanted to know, what's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode? Okay, my favorite episode of the show. I got a single DVD of it.
Listen, DVD.
It was a single DVD and a single episode on a DVD. It is The Wild Wild World of Batwoman.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, my gosh. That was the only one on the DVD?
The only thing. There was nothing else on that DVD but that one episode. That, I'd probably say that and Robot Monster are my top 2. Wild Wild World of Batwoman is, my God, the most hilarious movie. Even without commentary, I would have laughed at it for like the entire time, but you guys just added so much to it. But right now, I want to move y'all to our music segment. So this is called Dream Mixtape. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of prompts. And what you're going to do with these prompts is you're each going to give me a song that fits this prompt for you. It could be different for all 3 of you. And we can go in the order of Emily, Joel, Jonah. How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
That's good, because Jonah has the depth and breadth as far as music goes.
Common man's Taylor Swift kind of a thing. You know?
The common man's Taylor Swift is what Emily Marsh is going to be known as.
A song that you would travel the galaxies to.
I've been really into like 80s music recently, just because we all need hype. We all need like a pep in our step.
Yes.
So I've been really liking When the Rain Begins to Fall from Jermaine Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Which I recently found out is from a movie called Voyage of the Rock Aliens.
I had to say Sun Ra's We Travel the Spaceways for.
So I picked Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper. I think that'd be just a nice tune to listen to when you're kind of going around.
It's your favorite song from any movie you've seen on the show, which I'm not sure if you exactly remember the soundtracks of any of these movies particularly, but if you do, they're probably not available anywhere. But if you do, you can let me know.
No Retreat, No Surrender did have an 80s montage where there was a training sequence, and that song is called Stand on Your Own. And that is the second song I am now realizing I'm putting on this playlist from an 80s movie.
Nice.
So I'm so sorry.
This guy, Paul Tripp, who was involved with the Christmas That Almost Wasn't, and he did the song called There Once Was a Christmas That Almost Wasn't. Almost Wasn't. It's that one.
My pick was the song Valerie that Archibald Jr. sings in EGOT.
That's great.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he sings that in the movie. That's a movie that we did on tour, and I had to see that over and over and over again. And the line that really stuck out to me was they say that vitamins are good, and so's a calorie.
A song that reminds you of Patton Oswalt.
Here's my rationale. So it's Raining Men. And the reason is because I feel like we got a couple drops of Patton Oswalt. It was like, all right, who is this guy? He's in these movies. And then all of a sudden it was raining. It was raining Patton Oswalt, and I loved it. He was everywhere, and we just couldn't get enough of Patton Oswalt. So that's why it's Raining Men makes me think of Patton Oswalt.
He had this thing he was working on and ruminating about, which is like, what would Obama's playlist be? And I remember us talking about, the OJs, the Backstabbers would be in his like playlist. So that's just a little fond memory of Patton that I wanted to mention.
Mine is based off of an amazing old joke of his. I'm not sure if it's on Feeling Kind of Patton or Werewolves and Lollipops, but it's like he does a whole 15-minute bit about the song Christmas Shoes and about how messed up of a song it is. It's from a band called New Song, I think is what their name is, which is like he makes a whole joke about it's such a terrible name for a band because it's just like it's just basically like who's on first for band names. Like so what's the band name? New Song. Yes, I know, but what's the band called? And it's just they have this terrible song about a kid that can't afford to buy new shoes for his mom. And then later in the song reveals like he's trying to buy the shoes with pennies because his mom is dying and he wants her to have good shoes so she's allowed into heaven. So it's like this idea that she has to have nice shoes or else Jesus is like a doorman at a club.
Crow's theme song.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of for this one, it's like what song would be how Crow sees himself being received by the rest of the world. So I was just really imagining like a slow reveal with the song Unforgettable playing in the background. Just like one of those like casual head turns from Crow as the song starts.
Crow actually does have a theme song. Like I got the name Crow from the Jim Carroll band song from the album Catholic Boy. There's a song called Crow. And I had that album. It's a great record. And I remember saying, wow, I'm going to name that robot Crow. And it's based on that song.
Wow.
Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast. That would be Crow's theme song just because it seems like it would just get him pumped up to take over the world. And you just kind of hear like Bombs Over Baghdad, but less like Fred Schneider, but more like Crow.
A song that drives you to the limits of human sanity.
I'm going on record, and I've been saying this to as many people who will listen to me say this, so I'm glad I now have a public forum. I do believe that The Best Day of My Life by American Authors is the worst song ever made. Because that song is incredibly repetitive, and it sounds like somebody invented it to make people lose their sanity. So...
Is that on commercials? Is that shown? Is that shown
it's
up
on all the
this is the
commercials.
best day?
It was like written to be a commercial song.
Yeah, it's written for retail stores for sure.
Mine is from Portugal the Man, and it's the What Me Worry. That makes me kind of cuckoo.
As sung by Alfred E. Newman. Is it about Alfred E. Newman?
It's like, it kind of is, I think. It's just one of those kind of like, I'm certain I'm interpreting it wrong, but it just makes me nuts. I don't know.
Cotton Eye Joe by Rednecks.
Oh, yeah, okay.
that's a song that just is just brutally irritating and terrible. And one of my favorite kind of like soft prank moves is like if I'm at a friend's house and they have like a Bluetooth, I'll figure out a way to get on the Bluetooth. And then when I'm like about to leave the party, I'll just be like, all right, everybody, see you around. And then I'll turn it up all the way and I'll just start playing, where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did you come from? Where did you go? And then like I leave and then they have to go and try and figure it. And I love it, like turning it up as loud as it can go because I just hear shuffling and the dull sounds of this song as I leave. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Thanks again, you guys. Wishing you the best of luck with the season that's coming out Friday, Gizmoplex, all that stuff. Any more live shows you got to do. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show, so thank you.
Nice singing, John. Yeah, that was a blast.
Thank you, John.
All right. I hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody.
And this guy keeps going. Sorry, you can hear me? Whoops. Sorry, we love you. You're a hard worker. Great job.
Thank you. They've been keeping me here against my will. All right. We
need that content, John. You need that content.
in the mines. I work for the content.